What's happening, people? What's happening? I.O.B.A. I'm TC. Just finished training, and I figure I'd drop a quick video and keep this conversation going. Conversation is about ADOS and these 2020 elections, as usual. I saw an interview the other day with Charlemagne The God. I think he was on, I want to say CNN, talking to Don Lemon. And he was asked, if he had to endorse a candidate, who would it be? And he did, to his credit, he did say he wasn't endorsing anybody. But if he had to, if they forced him to, force his hand, he would endorse Kamala Harris. And I got an issue with that now. Like I said, he didn't pin himself down, but he said if he had to nominate somebody, it would be Kamala Harris. And the reasons he gave was because she's a woman of color, and he said she's the most qualified to be president. Well, when a motherfucker like Donald Trump and George W. Bush can sit in the White House, the qualifications to be president aren't that high. The people around you got to be more qualified than you do, as a matter of fact. So that would not be a reason I would use to endorse Kamala Harris. You know what I mean? That would not be a reason I would use to endorse Kamala Harris. Plus, Kamala Harris is straight up corporate and business as usual. I mean, you're gonna see some legislation that swings, that programs to help poor people and people of color and all of that. But you're not gonna see nothing specifically for black people. I mean, she even came right out and said it. Am I gonna do anything? I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something just for black people. No, that's what she said. So she's not on the same page as us. She's not on the same page as us. She's not the same as us. I mean, ADOS, people of color, a woman of color, she is Indian. She describes herself as Indian. I ain't never heard her call herself black. I always hear herself say she a woman of color. And as you and I both know, woman of color don't mean jack shit. You know what I mean? Unless you say you black, then you just, a quote-unquote person of color. That don't mean shit. And even on the list of the so-called people of color, black people always fall to the bottom of that list. So that don't mean shit. So her being qualified and her being a woman of color don't amount to a goddamn thing. It's about the fucked up policies that this woman is endorsing. When she say when she say that she is 100% behind Israel, that just means she 100% behind war in the Middle East as a way of, diplomacy. She gonna continue with these stupid fucking wars, and we ain't never gonna get out of them. And it's been proven time and time again that Kamala Harris will say whatever is expedient at the fucking time. But when she get in the White House, if she get in the White House, she gonna do the same fucking shit that Barack Obama did, which is nothing really for black people. Ask that motherfucking broad on the stage what's the first thing she'll do. She said DACA. That's Hispanics and Latinos. That's brown people. That's not black people. You know what I'm saying? So, Charlemagne, you need to... I know you didn't say that you were endorsing her outright, but you need to really think about what you said in that regard. You know what I mean? We're not gonna... I don't think we're gonna get any of them motherfuckers to say that they would sign a reparations bill. Any of them. And so, in my view, I got to go with the one who turns out to be the most blatantly honest with me. Some people, they're one issue voter. I got a big issue, and that big issue is reparations. But I also know that in order for any of us to be around, there's certain things that we got to do, like control our fucking our climate change issues. We got to get that under control. And we need health care in this fucking country in a big way. And I ain't saying that just because I'm older. I'm saying that because that's what we need in this fucking country. Right? The black people in this country are owed a fucking debt. It's money owed. Everybody know it. These motherfuckers coming left, right, and center talking about I had slave owners in my family. Y'all can dig far enough back to find out that y'all got slave holders in your family, but you can't find out who the slaves were? Get the fuck out of here. Let me say that again. Y'all motherfucking politicians can look far enough back to see that y'all parents had slaves. But you can't seem to understand and find out who those slaves were. Let me tell you something else. And this is just from me doing motherfucking math and talking to my microphone. I believe that there were a lot more fucking slaveholders than I previously thought there were. Because you had a narrative that, you know, there was these big plantations, and on those plantations they had, 200-300 slaves, 150 slaves. But I'd be willing to bet, and it's just me speculating now. Now I'm going to dig into Google and verify, but this is just me speculating. I bet you motherfuckers with 2 slaves, 1 slave, a slave girl in the back who he used to fuck, 3 slaves here, 5 slaves there, a motherfucker got 19, 20 slaves. I bet you that was all over the fucking place. Because there was millions of black people in the country, right? And very few of them were fucking free men. The majority of them were slaves, right? And indentured servants, but mostly slaves. So I know a handful of plantations in the South and in the North didn't own all them millions of slaves. No. Slavery was wide fucking spread. The Indians had fucking slaves. The Native Americans had slaves. Black people had slaves. Yeah, it was rich niggas back then had slaves. All these motherfucking slaves. And it was the name of the game. Free labor. So you can dig back and find out that you was a slaveholder, but you don't know who the slaves were you was holding. And it's too far back to understand that you need to pay us for all of that fucking free labor. It's not so far back that you can't look and see that you was one of them, but it's too far back to pay us. See, that's the reparations issue. That's why that's such a big thing. Because they so fucking disingenuous with that shit. You know? And they know that it's a debt. It's not a handout. It's not any of that. It's the same thing that you had to do with the Jewish people and with the Native American people and with the Japanese people and with every other group of people that y'all fucked over in some way, shape, or form in this country. And y'all had to come up off some money to rectify the situation. Except when it comes to black people, you motherfuckers are stuck on stupid. By you motherfuckers, I mean the United States government. So those are my issues. Kamala Harris ain't gonna be no different than Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders on the issue of reparations. She ain't gonna be no different. Bernie Sanders came out and said no to a cash payment. No to a cash payment. So here's a fucking guy with a lot of the things that I talk about and agree on. He's talking that shit. Now, I'm a little skittish on his commitments with Israel and his war policy. Now, he has said that we need to get out of, I think he said Afghanistan. Anyway, I'm a little skittish with that, you know. But his domestic policy I can get with, except for that one fucking thing. And it's a big thing. It's a deal breaker almost. Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, all the rest of the motherfuckers, fuck them. You know, Tulsi Gabbard, she got a good foreign policy, but You know, she come out her mouth against. I think she came out against reparations as well. So she's kind of off the table right now. We got to find a combination. Andrew Yang with his universal basic income. See, I like that. See, I like little bits from everybody's platform. You know, and the one that comes closest to being something that I could get behind won't do reparations. So I'm not going to do what Charlemagne did. I'm not going to say at, 16, 17 months out that if I have to vote for somebody, it would be so-and-so. I'm just saying. So that's me. I'm just rambling a little bit about these elections, but they're important this time. They're important this time. If you choose not to even bother going out there, right? Like we did last time, then that's your choice. Just get ready for 4 more years of Donald Trump, and shit gonna get ugly this time. Or if Donald Trump win another 4 years, shit gonna get ugly for everybody. But you gotta be prepared for it if it does. You gotta be prepared for it if it does. Shit gonna get real white and real ugly. I'm just saying. Gotta strap your shit, keep your shit wired tight. But like I said before, man, I want shit to get good and fucked up. So motherfucking white people can see in modern times the kind of damage that they bring to the table when they're in control of things. So I want shit to get good and fucked up. Now hopefully somebody will come along with a decent enough platform that we can run Donald Trump out of the White House. But, they so scared to promise black people something until it's got them all paralyzed. They can promise LGBT, Hispanics, other groups, direct goddamn tangible programs and policies that they want to put into effect. But when it comes to black people, they get tongue-tied. When it comes to black people, they don't know what to do. Anyway, so that's it, y'all. I can't endorse nobody right now. ADOS, baby, all day. The reparations got to come one way or the other. Doesn't really matter how long it takes. Y'all don't forget to like the video. Hit me with the thumbs up if you dug the video. And go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it. TC. And I'm out.